Okay, I hope this works. Uh, Here we go. The reason why I'm making these videos is because I'm about to turn 50. I got a bad heart, blood sugar issues. I used to be a dope fiend. I just ran hard on my body and didn't take care of myself mentally, physically, all that stuff for a long time. This fucking guy. So I'm making these videos because I don't know how much time I got left on this earth, and I wish my son was here. But I'm gonna focus on him and just trip it out for my kids. I want them to be able to see these videos when I'm gone, remember me, laugh, cry, make fun of me, all that good stuff. Uh, I have an idea for this YouTube channel that I want to start doing specifically with my son, Louis. He's 19 years old. He's on the spectrum. Uh, I got some ideas of some videos we can make that would be pretty interesting and entertaining and funny and cool. Well, I think they will be, but we'll see. Uh, so yeah, he's on the autism spectrum. They got this thing nowadays where it's like a levels, like severe and mild, like just quirky, whatever. And so he's somewhere in the middle, high. You know, he can take care of himself pretty much, but he'll never be on his own. Take care of himself. If that makes sense. Uh, if you watch any of these other videos of him, it's just us acting a fool or giving him a haircut, which is something that, man, giving him a haircut was a big ordeal. You know, if you have a kid that's on the spectrum, then you know the sensitivity, the sensitive to sound and touch, and it was just we couldn't cut his hair for a long time. Really, I had to physically restrain him for a while, and then it was just buzz cuts. Got okay, and then it wasn't until not too long ago that he started actually getting real haircuts, having his hair styled and looking fresh. But still, he doesn't really care about it. You know, it's not something that he is passionate about at all, or fixated on, or tells me, "Dad, I want a haircut." I like him to look fresh. You know, I want him to look good. And a lot of the stuff is just me living through him, I guess, because he's like, other than his mental disability, he's like the perfect boy. You know what I mean? He's tall. He's handsome. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with him. He has autism, and it does, affects his ability to communicate and interact with other people. And he has, he'd rather do his own thing. He doesn't like. There's nothing in him that wants to socialize really, or don't get me wrong. He loves to go out. We go on some adventures. He loves to do shit, but his safe place, his spot, his room, where with his stuff, with all his stuff, the way he likes it, untouched. And for a while, I tried to force myself into his life, mentally and physically, with touching and talking and interacting. But I just take what I can get when I can get it now. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's scary, still unknown. He's 19 years old. He's considered an adult now. He's of age, legal age, you know. Uh, I don't know if anybody watches this video that has a young man for at home who's on the spectrum and maybe going through some kind of similar stuff. Let me know. I've been thinking about getting him either some medical CBD or marijuana, help him chillax. Sometimes he gets a little worked up. He doesn't have much of an appetite like he used to. He's very picky about food now, as where when he was younger, he was eating, more. Oddly enough, I mean, you can never tell because of his physique. He's very, very skinny. Uh, Maybe you can recommend a supplement I can get him on. But yeah, he burns that shit off fast. He's constantly moving. He twirls and spins like a ballerina. The kind of spinning that would make an average person sick. But I have videos of him spinning. I think that's just the way he stems. That's the way he lets out what's going on inside him. That's the way he exercises. That's the way he gets a release. And I sometimes wonder if he gets dizzy because right after the spinning, he'll stop and look me in my eyes like he wasn't spinning, like it doesn't affect him like it does me or most people, or you get dizzy. I don't know. I'm not a professional spinner or a ballerina or somebody who can do that kind of stuff, so I don't know if you're able to block that out, or maybe he gets off on feeling that dizziness. I don't know. It's my son, little Louie, and I want to share my experience raising him. I want to talk to him in any way I can, get him to communicate. So he does these videos and he likes them for the most part. We have family videos where we actually did some like karaoke stuff. I gotta find that video. Anyways, yeah, that's what I'm gonna be coming with. Me and Big Lou, and it's basically showing everybody and teaching me and him at the same time and how much he really knows. I want to put ourselves in real life scenarios or situations, and we're going to make it fun, and we're going to make it educational, and we're going to make it a good time. And it all depends on him, really, because if he doesn't want to do it, he'll be like, Dad, no. So you get to know, I get to know. If he has it his way, he would just point and stand there and gesture to what he wants. But the one thing I do force him to do is use his words. I want him to talk and communicate because he can. And part of I believe it's being a normal teenage boy, like I'm lazy. I don't want to do what you said to do, Dad, or whatever, this or that. But some things I do make him do, and I've learned to chill out with that and pick my battles. I think that's what they say. Because, man, if he is or gets fixated on one thing, it can be very, very intense. It can be very, he's like a pit bull just locked in on something, and it's hard to get off. I use that example a lot when I was describing him, especially when he was younger. He was pretty wild, man. Wild. Real young when he was a toddler. I didn't know what autism was. I didn't never heard the word autistic. I followed him around my mother-in-law's house, literally on my hands and knees, trying to get him to look at me or communicate with me in any way, and he wouldn't. Back then, the doctors would tell us that he would learn on his own or speak when he's ready. Or at first, they didn't even. I don't want to say they didn't care, but back in my home state, it just we didn't get much help at all. But coming out here to Indiana, where I'm at now, and getting his diagnosis and getting a lot of help has been awesome out here with a great bunch of people who have been by our side since the beginning and made it possible. And even just his mom and I sticking together and trying to do our best to raise him and his four sisters, and being in a home where there's so many young girls. I have to be vigilant and strict with him because I cannot have any kind of inappropriate behavior or something going on that he wouldn't even realize would be inappropriate. Just walking, or for like an example, just walking around naked. He doesn't feel shame or embarrassed of anything. So if it was up to him, he'd just take a shower and walk back to his room. You know what I mean? I got to tell him, put a towel on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If there's a ton of other things. We'll get into it if anybody has any questions about raising this young man, or can help me with advice about raising this young man, about masturbation, about growing up and becoming a man. And I know there's grown adult autistic men out there that somebody's still taking care of. You know what I mean? Because they can't stay little forever. He's not a little boy no more, and this is all becoming new for me too. That part's over. You know what I mean? That young boy that I had to spank on the hand or tap on the butt or tell him no, or just do my best to make him understand what is okay and what isn't. He knows now what's okay and that part's over. He's not a little baby no more. He's not and mentally, he kind of, I don't know. I love this dude and I love all my kids, and I just need them to know that. And I need to be more. I want to be more and do more for my son, especially, to maybe even bring him out of his shell a little more. He's pretty outgoing, and he's a great kid. My daughters are very smart, and I'm proud of them. I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, 8-year-old, a couple other daughters that are not even in my life anymore, but the ones I have here with me are I've done my best. I think I've tried with them, especially at a young age, growing up, babies, toddlers, girls, and now they're coming into this teenage young ladies stage of life. They're growing up. They're definitely not babies anymore, not my little girls. Everything's changing in the house. Everything and everybody is changing. And these past 3 years or so, 3, 4, maybe past 5 years, it's crazy to think about the siblings that I've lost. I lost my mother. Recently lost my father. And life is short, man. It's life ain't easy for anybody, and like I said, I don't know how much time I have left on this earth to be with these children that I love so much. You know, that's the one thing to know that. I want all my kids to know that. Growing up in the environment, in the situation where I grew up in, being involved in so much craziness at a young age. You know, when you go through that kind of stuff, I think it does something to you, you know? Um, Being out there on the streets at a young age, fighting demons, just living wild. I thank God that I even survived it, and I'm alive today to even make a video like this. I just need you all to know I love you. You know who you are. You know, I hope you know what you mean to me. Regardless of what stage you're in my life right now, I know we had some wonderful times. So, anyways, I don't want to get too emotional or all weird or nothing. You know what I mean? Pero, thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, subscribe to my little channel. I'm going to be uploading at least once a week now, hopefully, these videos with me and Big Lou. And my little zoo I have at home that's starting to get bigger. So, thank you for watching. And if you made it this far, you're going to watch more. If you got some love for then go ahead and leave a little comment or a like. I mean, I got like 4 subscribers already, bro. You could be the 5th. You know what I mean? But, stay hydrated. Take care of your business and love the ones that love you and respect the ones that respect you.